This is Miss Walke. She is our teacher. It's a short walk to class. We follow the blue arrows in the hallway and leave a big space between each student. This keeps us safe. We sanitize before we do everything, and we sing a song to help us remember what to do. Sanitize, then enter. Sanitize, then enter. When we walk through the classroom door, we can hear the calming music. We slowly put away our belongings. Only 4 students hang up their belongings in the coat room. The rest of the students hang their belongings on the back of their chair or under their table. We have lots of personal space. Then we say good morning to our friends and find our carpet spot. During carpet time, some students sit at their desk and some students sit on a brown mat. This helps us keep lots of space between each student. All of the students on the brown mats are in the same color cohort. If we are sitting beside someone in our color cohort, we can have a mask break. This helps us to not spread germs to all of the students in the class. Miss Walke put green rectangles on the floor to remind us where to sit every day. We always sit in the same spot, and this keeps us safe. Miss Walke asks us how we are doing each morning, and then she shows us the schedule so we know what we are learning about. First, our schedule says story time. We listen to stories that connect to our learning. We read all of these books to learn about different types of homes. We also read books to help us understand different concepts we are learning. For example, we read the book Needs and Wants to help us understand what our houses really needed to have instead of what we wanted our houses to have. Next, the schedule says we have journal time. We show our thinking about our learning in our journals. We draw detailed pictures and write words too. Each student has their own journal, pencil crayons, glue stick, and eraser. We don't share materials, and this keeps us safe. This is our word wall. Miss Walke writes words that connect to our learning on here so we can use them during journal time. And she also writes words on the word wall that we use a lot when we write. These words are called sight words that students have to memorize. Some words that are sight words include as, the, is, it, in, to, for, all, and many others. When we don't know how to spell a word and it's not on the word wall, we stretch it out and write the sounds that we hear. If we are working with a friend that is not in our cohort, we keep our masks on. But if we are working by ourselves at our desk or with someone in our cohort, we can take our mask off. When journal time is over, we sing our song. Sanitize and clean up. Sanitize and clean up. We have 2 bottles of hand sanitizer in our classroom. Next, the schedule says carpet time and snack. We eat 1 or 2 healthy snacks. At carpet time, we have deep and meaningful conversations about our learning. We share our ideas and ask lots of questions too. Here are some of the questions that students have asked during carpet time about building houses. How do you build a stable house? What does stable mean? Does a house really need windows? How do you make a window? Do you need a ceiling and a roof? Why do you need a roof anyways? Does a roof need to be a triangle? When snack and carpet time is over, we sanitize and clean up. Sanitize and clean up. Next, the schedule says special activity. This means that we are doing something special. One of our special activities was designing and building a house for our pet rock. First, we designed our houses, and then we built them. We received lots of feedback from our teacher and friends to help us improve our houses. Next, we are going to reflect on why groups are important for us to belong to. Then we are going to think about how to help our pet rocks feel like they belong too. When we are doing our work, we can go to the bathroom or get a drink of water. There is one bathroom pass. One student is allowed to go to the washroom at a time. First, we ask the teacher to go to the washroom. Then, we sanitize our hands and pick up the bathroom pass. Next, we follow the blue arrows all the way to the bathroom. We check the poster to see if there is someone in the bathroom. Only 2 people are allowed in the bathroom at one time. This keeps us safe. We put our bathroom pass on the poster. Then we go to the washroom. If there is already 2 people in the bathroom, we wait on the green dot. If there is already someone waiting on the green dot, we walk back to class on the blue arrows and try again in a few minutes. When special activity is over, we sanitize and clean up. Next, the schedule says math. This is when we talk about problems that use numbers, measurement, shapes, and patterns too. One of our math problems was solving a problem about 2D shapes. This was the question. In a bag, there were 2D shapes. Altogether, there were 20 vertices. What shapes do you think could be in the bag? We always show our thinking using pictures and numbers. We also share our strategies with the class during carpet time so we can learn new ways of thinking about problems. When math is over, we sanitize and clean up. Next, the schedule says lunchtime. We stay in our desks or at our tables and eat our lunch with our masks off. The lunch teacher sanitizes our tables and desks for us. She is so kind. After lunch, we go outside for recess with our lunch teacher. We leave lots of space between each student when we play, and we can play with our masks off. After recess, we follow the same blue arrows in the hallway and walk to class. We leave a big space between each student, and this keeps us safe. We sanitize and enter. Miss Walke asks us how we are all doing each afternoon, and then she shows us the schedule so we know what we are learning about. First, our schedule says art. We use art to express our ideas about our learning. We also use art to deepen our understanding of concepts we are learning. One of our art projects was making a landscape of the land in our schoolyard. First, we used our 5 senses to explore the land in our schoolyard. Then, we learned how to draw grass by looking at it really carefully through a magnifying glass and drawing every detail we saw. Last, we added real grass from the land to make it more realistic. Next, we are going to talk about what kind of land our pet rocks might want to live on. We will build the land for our pet rocks. Another art project we are doing is making a self-portrait. First, we learned about mixing paint to make our own skin color. Next, we have to cut the paper out to look like a head. Then, we will add other facial features like a nose, lips, eyes, and eyebrows so it looks realistic. When art is over, we sanitize and clean up. Next, the schedule says books. We practice reading every day. We look at the pictures in books and read the words to learn new information about topics we are interested in. Miss Walke works with small groups of students to teach them what they need to learn to help them read. We can use strategies to help us read. Right now, we are practicing the strategy called Stretchy the Snake. When we read new words, we try to slowly stretch out the sounds in the word. When books is over, we sanitize and clean up. Next, the schedule says recess. We have a 15-minute recess outside. Miss Walke brings us outside and we stay with our class. We do not mix with other classes. This keeps us safe. After recess, we follow the same blue arrows in the hallway and walk to class. We sanitize, then enter. Next, the schedule says story time and snack. Miss Walke reads a story to us that connects to our learning, and we can eat whatever is left in our lunch. After story time, we sanitize and clean up. Next, the schedule says centers. Center time is when we get to play with hands-on materials that help us practice different skills and deepen our understanding of concepts we are learning. During center time, we leave big spaces between each student. Miss Walke put yellow rectangles on the floor to remind us where to sit. This keeps us safe. If we are playing with students in our cohort, we can take off our masks. If we are playing with students that are not in our cohort, we keep our masks on. All of the centers are kept safely in containers with lids on them. Some centers are kept in the coat room. Some centers are kept on the shelf. If we share any materials, they sit on the shelf for 3 days or they are sanitized. After centers, we sanitize and clean up. Last, we read our goodbye poem together and we get ready for dismissal.